All right, welcome to week 2's devlog. As you can see, I've got the Voxel stuff working. Basically just using a height map, using simplex noise, and creating the landscape. So nothing fancy as far as generation goes. I just was focused on the actual process of making the voxels in this past week. So I first started out doing basically very simplistic voxelation, where for each voxel, each square, I checked if there were neighbors. If there were no neighbors, then I put a face on that one. So for like those 3 faces, there would be a triangle or 2 triangles for each face, for a total of 9 triangles. So I got that working. It took about actually just about a day, and then I had to optimize that because I was getting like 7 million triangles or something, or I forget exactly what it was. I posted it on Twitter. I think maybe it was 290 million. I forget exactly, or 2 point. I don't remember. I'll have to double check. But anyway, it was a lot of triangles. So I then went to the what they call the greedy meshing, which basically turned these 3 faces into a single face of 2 triangles. Likewise, these 6 faces here are now just one square, 2 triangles, and likewise to all of these. And you can actually see this in the wireframe, which is going to be very hard to see here, but let me see if I can get it down a little bit. But you can kind of see that that's a single square there. And you can see how those ones are. So yeah, the wireframe very, very trippy, but it's useful for diagnosing problems in the meshing. But that gave me a very good reduction in triangles. After doing the, it's called the greedy meshing, it took the number of triangles down to about 9% of what it was previously. So I think it went from like 2.9 million down to 270,000 or something like that. So it was a significant reduction in the number of triangles. And then once I got that done, I decided to do actual meshing of the voxels, which turned out to be a bigger job than I anticipated, especially since you have to tile the textures across the triangles, which it took basically a whole day to get that working, which frustrated me. I hate spending hours and hours on something that should be relatively simple. Then I got block selecting working. You can see the selection box there. So you can select which one, and I have a little text at the top telling me what the block type is. So just make sure it's identifying the right block, which it does. And then once I was able to do that, I was able to get actual modification of the chunk. So this is rebuilding the chunk after every removal of a block. So that works. I do not have adding blocks yet, but it's the same process of remeshing and everything. So what I'm currently working on is collision, which I kind of have working. It gets stuck a bit, and it doesn't let you glide across the ground or anything, but for the most part it keeps you from intersecting with blocks, and you can tell there's a slight vibration. So this, I just only spent about an hour and a half or so on the collision, so I still need a good deal of time to perfect it. But yeah, I'm very happy with the progress. It's coming along good. Hopefully this week I can get the collision detection working well, where I could actually start running around this world, jumping and all that stuff. And then I'd like to get networking started, where you actually have two instances of the program communicating, one acting as a server, one acting as the client, and the client seeing changes made on the server and the client sending its changes over to the server. So like I said in the last video, I want to make sure that I design this whole game with networking in mind from the beginning. I want it to be working with networking as soon as possible. And I think I've got it to the point about where I can do that. So, fortunately, I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot of time to work on the progress or on the project this week, just because my day job things are going to be picking up, and I've just got to spend a good deal of time doing that. So, oh, and I didn't mention, these are placeholder graphics from Kenny NL. If you're not familiar with him, he does a lot of royalty-free placeholder graphics. People can use as placeholders, or if you're so inclined, you can use it in your finished game. But I'm not really thinking that I'm going to have Minecraft-like graphics like this. I am going to experiment with altering the way the voxels appear in the landscapes so that it's not so blocky. Hope to have a unique feel to this game and not come across as another Minecraft clone. Although there will be some elements of the game that are similar to Minecraft. But I'm not going to get too into that right now. I will discuss that stuff as I get into actual gameplay development, which will probably take a while, because I imagine getting everything in the engine properly working will take quite some time. But that's progress this week. So very pleased with how fast things are coming together. Although, unfortunately, I think the speed of progress is going to change now that time is going to be running a little bit shorter. But we'll see. All right, I appreciate your watching. Hopefully I'll be able to put out another video next week. And until then, I will talk to you later.